Hello, everybody. We are live. Thank you all for joining us for another exciting episode of Those Natural Ones. We are live on YouTube, Kick, Trovo, Twitch, TikTok, because it's still around, apparently. I did put in a hashtag on the YouTube so you can tell the difference between the YouTube Shorts video and the actual horizontal normal one now. So depending on which platform you're watching, make sure you click on the right one. So anyway, before we get started, we have a couple quick announcements, starting with our next. I know we just had one last week and a couple days ago, and it was a lot of fun. So we're going to do it again. Our next in-person, sitting around a real table, rolling real dice, Friday, February 28th. So mark it on your calendar and get ready for that. Other than that,
I should probably put that in my calendar.
Yeah, you probably should. You put it on the poll that you could make it. So, we should all be there. So hopefully, we don't get sick. No offense, Sam. Not calling you out. Just saying.
Jinx us.
Anyway, now we're all going to come down with the flu, and we're just going to have to cancel because we all have COVID or something.
Shut up.
No.
Stop putting that evil on us.
Fair enough. All right.
Ricky Bobby.
On that note, how about I tell you about our sponsor for tonight? So this episode, just like every episode this month, is sponsored by Factor. So thank you, Factor. Why waste precious time cooking when you could be leveling up in your game? With Factor, you get fresh, chef-prepared meals delivered right to your door, ready in minutes. No prep, no cleanup. Follow the link in the description below and use the code down there as well at checkout to claim an epic discount and make mealtime effortless. We are rolling along in our goal towards 24 Factor subscriptions. We're at 5. Hey, quit. We're a fifth of the way there.
She's excited too.
So,
and so are we.
Check it out down there and sign up. Help us get our new equipment. Scott, how else can they help us out?
Guys, hi, I'm Scott. We have a Patreon. You can help us out by checking it out and maybe signing up. The bottom level is less than $1 an episode most of the time. And you get your name on our thanks tickers and access to our Discord to see what we're sharing during the stream. There's lots of higher levels with merch and stuff. One of those levers is a weekly shout out. So once again, thank you, Les and Flora Marlatt, for your continued support. Perry has gone black and white.
I don't know.
It's because it was Doctor Who's birthday, right?
Yes, that is definitely it. It's certainly not my camera.
The doctor behind you. Isn't it his birthday? I saw his cake today.
Yeah, like 91.
Baker.
Yeah.
Sunday. His birthday was Sunday.
Cool.
Cool.
Check out our
cool.
Patreon.
Thank you.
Early access to stuff at other levels. Patreon.com/those natural ones. I didn't have the heart to do the bit today.
That's fair.
No bits.
No bits.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Perry, try unplugging your camera and plugging it back in. See if that fixes it.
Okay.
Have you tried paracycling?
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. We're getting real close to our first
Have you
major
tried
goal. So
getting rid of the Daleks in your house?
I wish I knew what that meant.
What's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
I know what it means. I've never watched an episode of Doctor Who in my life.
Doctor Who is cool.
That is a sentence I don't think has ever been spoken.
Oh my God.
Dad's going to cancel his
So
Patreon
wrong.
if you keep talking.
I'm feeling sick right now. I think I should go.
Speak for all of us.
Speaking of things that are cool, Emery, where else can they help us out and support us?
When you're not supporting us on Patreon and helping us get to the next level, you can always support us by tuning in every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or daylight savings or whatever, you know what I mean. On all of the platforms that you mentioned earlier. That's YouTube, that's Twitch, that's Kick, that's Trovo. Those two are back now. On TikTok for at least the next 90 days. Also on our YouTube shorts. Like, we're going live on there now. You can always interact with us on Blue Sky. That's where we are right now. Those other sites, if you find us there, then good for you. But we're on Blue Sky. You can interact with us on the Zuck Facebook thing. You can also interact with our very own Butch on Butch's blog on Tumblr.
The part of Butch tonight will be played by Discord's loading boxes. But Perry usually plays Butch on Tumblr, so talk to him.
Usually, yeah. You can also, for all of our audio-only podcast listeners, you can listen to us wherever podcasts are spread out into the universe. Do remember to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, sound off in the comments. Any and all engagement helps us out a ton. And if you do subscribe, remember to hit the bell for notifications and make sure that you hit all, so that way you never miss an episode.
Thank you, Emery. I need to run up and see why they're stampeding elephants over my head. Sam, you weren't here, but I know you watched it. What happened on Friday?
What happened on Friday?
Literally
Oh my
nothing.
God. Nothing happened. It's fine.
Fine.
So, last session on Friday in person, the Pale Knight descended. Don't do that, dog. The Pale Knight descended to speak to the party. Butch spoke on our behalf, explaining that we needed passage out of the abyss to continue our fight against Tativolis. The Pale
You cut out there.
What?
My dog's an animal.
Yeah,
Accurate.
That's good.
So anyways,
It's a wild shape.
the Pale Knight told us of the origin of the plains, birthed from conflict between her and her partner Aramond. She told us that if anyone can assist us with binding to Tivlis, it will be her former partner. She opened a portal to the citadel of unyielding will and boundless ambition. Going through the portal, we found ourselves before Asmodeus. We beseeched his aid, and he demanded we prove our worth via trial by combat against animated statues. Successful in the fight, Asmodeus was impressed and gave us a gem and chain that can bind to Tivlis, but at great personal cost to the being doing the binding. No longer tolerant of our presence, Asmodeus teleported the party to what we soon realized was a cultist temple where people were being tortured and sacrificed. The party immediately attempted to rescue a child, Galen, who was in the process of being marked and sacrificed. We contacted Hymir, who said that the army is still taking Kali, and the party decided that Gwen can tree stride us to Kali. Before doing so, though, since we can't take the child to the front lines, Butch used word of recall to transport us to the Temple of Sehanine on the outskirts of Castellatri. We learned that the child is an Aasimar and is covered in infernal runes of transformation. We left him in the care of Navari, one of Hymir's lieutenants, who was left in charge of Castellatri. We decided to take a short rest at the tavern before using Tree Stride to take us to Kali. Elric wandered off and pulled not one, but 2 cards from the deck of many things, or perhaps the deck of many more things. The first aged him 12 years instantly, so he's now at the ripe old age of 37, I believe. The second turned him into a marble statue, completely immobilized, deck of many things still in hand. Unsure of where he went, the party went looking for Elric. Arnon noticed the new statue of Elric behind the keep near a wall and realized what Elric had done. The session concluded with Arnon sending to Gwen to tell her what had happened.
You got to see this.
All right, so give me a
What now?
minute. Give me a minute. Apparently, we have some buffering happening. So let me.
Oh, is that the elephants?
No, the elephant. Let me. I'm closing down a couple streams here. I think we are back. We're back to green. So. All right, I think we are good now. I had to disable TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So we're back to only having the horizontal videos, but I think we are good. I apologize for that buffering. Please, viewers, let me know that it is going better. All right, so Arnon, what were your final words in that message to Gwen?
I found Elric by the wall behind the keep. You got to see this.
Am I with Butch at this point? Who did I scurry off with?
Yeah, we'll say you're with
I've looked
Butch.
for Elric.
You're typically with Butch, so.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Yep.
I'm just gonna. It's the sending stone, so I can reply back, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. With Butch, on her way, not loving the sound of that, and then I'm gonna look over at Butch and, buddy. Arnon found Elric.
Okay.
Didn't give too many details, but behind the keep near the wall,
All right.
I think we should scurry. Something seems afoot.
Oh.
Oh no! I just noticed he's stuck there. The guard.
What? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Elric. But Emery.
Guys,
Oh,
He's role playing.
Emery.
I totally didn't see that.
I don't know what to say to get you to look at him. Like, it's Emery, but it's Elric.
I see now. I think we're still might.
He's
be-
blinking, just in case you needed that.
Can you can you message Butch, Ember and Orpheus to meet us there as well? Or do we see them? Do we see them anywhere near us?
Maybe we can just say they're with us.
I don't honestly remember.
Yeah, we could just
They all
say
together.
we can just say that you guys easy enough to find each other.
As we're running towards the wall, we meet up in
Most
the
of us are
courtyard.
statues, so
Thanks,
we're easy to
Craig.
recognize.
Oh,
That hurt.
Yeah, that was
why
a
you shouting
lot.
at me, Bear.
That was a lot
Yeah.
right at once. I apologize for that.
It's my fault. I was singing.
All right.
So we all meet up in the courtyard with a fountain. We're like, oh, this way, and then we all run to where Arnon said he was. And we all arrive at once and see the scene seared in our
As you all approach and see,
brains.
yeah, you come across this statue, this marble statue of Elric with this holding and looking down at this one blank card with a deck in his other hand.
How tall is it?
I'll just Vanna White him.
How tall is what?
You know, Elric,
Oh,
if you keep making that face, it's going to get stuck like that.
So, guys, apparently at some point in time, he found a deck of many things. And he pulled a card that apparently turned him into a statue. The rest of the deck there in his hand probably shouldn't grab those.
Is he like 6 feet high?
Or grab the whole thing, don't look at them.
Well, it's kind of a liability to have these out in the open. We can't figure out a way to turn them back.
Whatever you do, just don't pull one like he did.
If you pull the
Orpheus
whole
is going
thing
to
out,
very carefully grab the deck and try to pull them out of Elric's hands.
Can I hold that?
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Maybe I should do it.
No.
I can
Want
hold
me to do
it.
it?
I believe it is too late now.
What about me?
Pardon?
Orpheus, man of action. Hugh, man of action.
So who's doing
What
it?
happens if a raccoon pulls a card?
Orpheus said he was doing it.
Orpheus, that's a 12. That's enough. You're able to reach out and gingerly pull the deck out of his hand without accidentally looking at a card or pulling a card.
What happens if you drop the deck of mini-face and they land face up?
That is a fantastic question, and we can totally find
Why
out
would
if
you
you would
ask
like.
that? I'm gonna run full speed at Orpheus. That's not much.
So is Elric closer to 5 foot or 6 foot?
How tall is Elric?
Elric is 6'2".
Okay, so we're looking between 400 and 500 kilograms. So around 1,000 pounds.
Of stone.
Which doesn't know, so he's going to try and just pick him up.
Don't break anything.
Sam doesn't know that either.
Who wants to play 52 pickup?
Why are his
No,
fingernails
why?
all gangly?
Wait, did you grab the deck?
Dude, guys, look at,
Orpheus
his
has the deck.
look at his fingernails. What is that?
Oh, shit. What just happened? God damn it. Sorry, people.
And kind of binds up the cards so they don't scatter, and then puts them in the bag of holding.
Sorry about that. Hold on one second. Please do that again. My Discord all just completely shut down for a second, so I missed all of that, and so did everyone
I
else.
was
Orpheus
pointing
is
out-
doing 52 card pickup.
I was pointing out that Elric's fingernails are all long and gangly and his hair is longer.
Fantastic.
And then
Yeah, because he aged, 12
Yes,
years?
12 years.
13.
Orpheus tied up the cards with some twine and put it in the bag of holding
Fantastic.
to make sure they don't scatter or anything.
Sorry
feel
about
like
all the
we have to
technical
move him.
difficulties here.
Because he's out in the open. I don't want birds to poop on him.
That's the least of our worries.
Well, presumably, there's got to be a spell for this.
You
Well,
Nick, can I make an Arcana check to see if there's a spell for this that I
Sure.
recall?
It's greater restoration.
I'm going to do greater restoration.
okay?
Wait,
Why?
because let the human knight feel useful.
Nah.
Hey, nat 20.
You've never
Hey, maybe we should try Greater Restoration?
Yeah, you've never dealt with the deck of many
we're
things
trying it.
before, but this seems very similar to a petrification spell.
Well, I
I think it's
cast
a
greater
petrification
restoration.
spell.
All right, so
And I'm touching him.
Ember, you can let me just. Is it statue? What's the name of the card?
I really like it when fighters can make cool knowledge rolls like that.
It helps that I'm proficient in Arcana, being an Eldritch Knight and all that good stuff.
Statue.
Otherwise, I'd just say, let's see if we can break him out of it.
Petrification lasts
Tip away.
until you are
Booming Blade.
freed with a greater restoration spell. So yes, you've cast greater restoration. Elric, you feel the tingling as the petrification wears off, and the rest of you see like these little bits of marble start cracking and falling, revealing Elric's flesh and clothing underneath as these pieces crumble and fall, and Elric comes back to reality.
Butch has positioned himself to catch Elric because that's what Butch does.
Butch is a good friend.
Because he's come back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Back to life.
Sam, can you ban that Twitch thing? I had to close down my view of the streams because it was hogging too much Wi-Fi. I need you to cover the admin duties. Or moderator, I should say. Thank you. All right, so yeah. Elric, you kind of collapse slightly as your legs, as the petrification leaves your legs, and Butch picks you up and gets you back on your feet.
I got you.
Where is it?
Your fingernail clippers? Apparently we don't know. You don't know either.
I pull out a knife, cut my fingernails, readjust
than
my
mine.
hair, and cut that back to its regular length.
How long have you been letting yourself go? I hadn't noticed.
Where is it?
Where's what?
The deck.
I have it secured, Elric. I don't think you should be sneaking off alone and just pulling random cards of destiny without us. If we hadn't found you, who knows what would have happened?
All due respect, I have more right to that deck than anyone.
I thought we shared loot here.
It's not loot, though, is it?
Yeah.
Elric.
Rick, I'll be happy to return it to you once you're of sound mind.
Where'd it come
Until
from?
then, I'm going to keep it in the bag of holding for now.
I don't remember finding that on anything that we fought,
No,
or
that
in the
we
treasure of anything we defeated.
No, it seems he found it and
It
didn't tell
was-
anybody.
It was on Amisra.
Hmm.
Does that still count as loot?
No. All right. When Elric says Amisra, I will let you down on your feet.
I just want to insight check to see if he's telling us the truth.
All right.
8.
He might be. There's nothing to say one way or the other. He seems like he's telling the truth.
Oh my gosh. I will also roll insight.
I'm just like,
roll insight on Arnon, rolling insight on Al.
I would like
Can someone tell me what I
bad at
got?
I'd like to roll
24.
insight on you rolling insight on Arnon rolling insight. 24. He seems legit.
Counter insight.
There doesn't appear to be any attempt to hide anything in his voice or his body language.
Oh, Elric.
Is your voice
It's-
deeper?
whose voice?
I think we
Rick's voice.
established last
Oh,
session
wow.
that he didn't actually go through puberty. He had already hit that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Elric, it's one thing to collect a bunch of drugs. I mean, I assumed you would do those with us around in case something went wrong. But a deck of unimaginable power and terrors and whatever it is, shouldn't one of us be with you? In case something goes wrong, like what went wrong? I don't want to lose you.
You
I would-
won't.
I would
As
just
long as you give me that deck.
interject that when I told everybody it was a deck, I explained what it was.
Thank you.
Elric, I don't know why you have to do all this on your own. Like, I just wish you'd tell us before you do something like this. I'm all for the risky stuff, Elric, but like, what if you weren't? What if you just got stuck here? Who's gonna avenge Amisra and save her soul now.
Or ported somewhere we don't know where you are.
Also that?
It's been known to happen.
There's worse consequences in this deck, and you know it.
I don't. I have no idea what's in that deck. Are there more cards that turn you into decorative pieces?
If you can imagine it, it's probably in this deck.
I'll give him the deck back.
It's
He put it in
all I have of her.
How about this? I'll give it back to you once you've slept on it. First thing in the morning. I think that's fair. If you demand it now, you're going to have to take it from me.
Fine. I'll sleep on it.
Thank you, Elric. In the meantime, we should probably find somewhere to bed down, recover from our fight.
No, we're going to headquarters.
Yeah, we're gonna rest a bit. And then tree stride.
I think
Any
we
news
already
on the
rested while he was pulling the cards. We did our short rest.
Yeah.
Do we have any news on the war front?
That's where we were headed. They're cleaning up Kali. Like pockets of resistance, it seems.
Any news of my father?
He didn't come back there. So his phylactery must be elsewhere.
And now you can understand why I might be acting a little desperate.
Well, my knowledge of the deck of many things is there's no card that will get you a Mishra back or find where your father is.
No, but there are cards that can put us in that direction.
And there are parts that can put us in the complete opposite direction.
I suppose that was a risk I was willing to take.
If that's the case, you can take that risk tomorrow. With us with you. If you so choose.
Tomorrow, then.
We all took a rest. Are you going to need one, or do you want to just head out with us now?
I'll say being petrified in stone will count as a short rest.
It's very generous of you.
I wouldn't call it a breather.
I like to cast a sending spell to Roxy real quick.
Okay.
Dear Roxy, this is Butch. I miss you a lot. I hope you're safe and okay.
Ew.
We're headed to Kali to see how we can help.
You don't have to put on your red light.
Oh my gosh. Her last name isn't Anne.
Suddenly, in response, you hear bear growls. No. She's a werebear.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I'm very aware.
No. Second passes before you hear kind of like it. At first, it comes through as almost like bear growls before the magic of the sending spell kind of changes it and almost translates it into your mind. So you still have like the undertone and the underpinning of bear growls with the voice on top, and you just hear, "Can't talk now. Chasing down a group. Glad you're safe. Hopefully see you soon."
Does she have a cat with her?
Apparently
I
she
think
has a
so.
cat with her.
I think so.
So,
Incredible bear.
Must be one of her fellow shapeshifters.
all right. So, as you all stand there, Elric kind of getting his strength back, what are you doing?
Oh, we're enjoying the awkward pause.
Well, unless you guys have something else to do here, maybe we should just head straight to Kali.
Elric, do you want a stiff drink before we go?
A drink.
A bracer.
No.
Okay.
Let's go to Kali if there's nothing else here.
All right. So you approach.
Well then.
Are you? I'm assuming you're tree striding. All right.
Transporting via plants.
That's what I meant. Yeah. So
We are doing that thing that I can do.
You walk up to the nearest tree that's large enough, and you remember right outside of the citadel that you fought Daddy Rick, a large tree in the courtyard. Well, are you going towards like the center, or are you going to go towards the outskirts of the town first off?
Did we get an
Center.
indication?
I don't think we've been on the outskirts, except the one place we came in on.
Yeah, you came in on the outskirts, or I guess technically it wasn't the outskirts, but you came out and then you misted in towards the. So yeah, you came in on the outskirts, misted in towards the citadel the second time you were there.
Whatever you guys want. Wherever Gwen takes us.
Gwen, center or outskirts?
Enter?
Center. All right. So yeah, you remember that tree in the courtyard, and as the tree you're touching splits open, you all start rushing through. As you, who would be first? Butch. All right.
I'll be right after him.
Butch,
All of meat.
Arnon, you walk through and you're almost hit in the face by the smell of ash and soot. As you look around and you see buildings on fire around. You see the Genasi, some of the water Genasi using control water to put out these flames. Nothing major, just typical after battle debris and detritus around. Significant damage to the immediate vicinity, especially the citadel that you found yourselves in. Looking around, and you see the airships hovering above. Every once in a while, you'll hear the odd shot from one of the air Genasi rifles. Sword clinks together on the outskirts, but it seems like this is all coming from at least somewhat distance away from you. As you all approach, go ahead and make perception checks, everyone.
I'm not looking.
I can see clearly now the war is done.
So Gwen with a 28, Ember with a 7, Orpheus with a 17, Elric with a 13.
I had a 26 before.
You had a 26?
Yeah, but before it came in before Gwen's.
Yeah, it's.
Did mine not do?
No, I don't have either of yours.
Okay, I don't see Butch or Orpheus, and somebody got a 20.
Butch
And
got.
I don't see a nat 20.
Nobody got a 20. Gwen had
No,
an 8.
there was a 20 on the board, is what I'm saying. It just didn't. It's one of the ones that didn't pop up.
Well, the only ones that didn't pop up for me were is yours. Sometimes the dice don't always. Sometimes they stop mid-roll on there. So if you got a 26, Gwen got a 28. The two of you notice as you're kind of looking out over this battlefield or the remnants of this battlefield. Everything seems to be calming down. There seems to only be a few skirmishes going out. You see, like I said, the occasional rifle shot coming from one of the airships, taking out a estranged soldier standing on a rooftop, or, you know. But as you're looking out over this and looking across the sky at these ships, from almost immediately west, and the rest of you don't notice this because it's very, very faint, very fine. In the sky, you see this almost jagged line coming from the west, almost like a crack in stone, but in the sky itself. Just very faintly visible as this just appears as far as you can see, and it just continues above, and you look up, and almost immediately over you, you turn around and follow it to the east, and it seems to go out a little ways before you lose it in your vision.
I'm sorry, it looks like a straight line? No, like a jagged line?
Like a jagged crack, almost. Like if you could imagine crack, a natural, like, fissure in a stone. But it's in the sky, and it's faint enough that only Gwen and Arnon see it.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't look good.
Is that
What doesn't look good?
is that an actual crack?
Yeah, it looks like there's a crack in the sky.
Can I look
I
again?
don't see it. Where?
Can I point it out to Butch
Yeah, I'll
or
say
to everybody?
if you point it, if the two of them point it out, you guys can make out faintly, very, very faintly. It almost looks like to the two that, or to anyone who rolled under 20, even with the assistance, it almost just looks like a wisp of smoke almost, but just slightly more jagged.
Like a chemtrail?
Kind of like a chemtrail that if the jet was going like this. Arnon,
so it's like a UFO chemtrail.
yeah, absolutely. Arnon and Gwen, you two looking even closer, you notice even it is the slightest bit wider on the west than it is in the east, almost like it tapers, like you're on the edge of a fissure.
Like we can tell where it originated from, kind of?
Well, you can
Or-
tell, you can tell the direction it originated from, but it goes as far as your vision can see.
Would there be any role to recognize anything like this?
This would not be something that you would have been aware of.
Okay.
Not anything you've ever experienced or learned about.
I can ask. Heimir's here fighting, right?
Yeah, that's who we're coming to look at.
Somewhere.
So I feel like we should find him and ask about that. He had to have noticed it.
Trying to remember in Butch's vision if there was, if he was shown cracking.
That was a long time ago. I can't remember if there was actual cracking or anything, but there was the almost like the line. I'm trying to remember the exact verbiage of it. Hold on. Actually, I have it.
It's a long time ago.
I have it written down right over
Nice.
here.
Notes.
Oh, where is it? Dreams, Butch.
Can I see Dreams, comma Gwen?
I do have one.
I know. I'm asking. Can I have it?
And you just have it.
Can I have it back?
Your
No.
vision looked more like,
Can't.
as I have it written here, a quilt of worlds. Noticing the lines between the images start to thin, images start overlapping and bleeding into each other. So
I did receive a vision ages past of the planes, I suppose, colliding. And I suppose like two glass pints, they would crack each other.
So this is what it's like when worlds collide.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Perhaps we should seek the help of the bard. Power Man.
I believe there were 4,999 of them.
4,999 that failed. We're looking for the 5,000th power man.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't suppose anyone knows how to deal with that.
I feel like we kind of are in a roundabout way.
The thing mending will do it. Let's find the general.
I'd like to cast Greater Restoration on the sky.
Like
Oh my
cast duct tape.
So another thing you notice, as you all notice, save for maybe Ember,
Bird.
as you are walking, suddenly you hear Calamity increasing, shouts getting louder. Suddenly you hear this loud, cacophonous roar coming from deep inside the city. You hear shouts, you start seeing people fleeing as this just eruption explodes from the center of town.
That seems like something we should run towards.
Orpheus is gonna send Steven up in the air to take a peek.
You sent Steven up.
Steven with a PH, because Steven with a V is gone.
Fantastic. You sent Steven up. Go ahead and make a perception check with Steven.
All right.
Arnon, are you running toward it?
I was going to ask if there was any
Oh, that's a bad roll.
indication of
9 will not do it. I would imagine.
A center of activity.
So with a 9,
comm station or-
Steven heads up and you see this like pillar of smoke coming from the center, and you see some some shuffling and movements around, and you do notice a large shape moving inside of this smoke, but that's all you can tell with a 9.
Is Cillian Murphy walking away from it?
I'm not sure
I don't know what it is,
which
guys. but it's
Killian
something
Murphy
big.
reference that's supposed to go towards.
Oppenheimer.
Oh, I have not seen that yet.
It's good.
Elric's going to advance towards it.
Yeah.
You have advanced towards
Yep.
it. You start
Same.
hearing more, and you're probably a good 2 miles away from it from where you are.
As we're going, I'll do my stuff on my sword and
Fantastic.
alacrity.
As you approach, you suddenly get close to this central area, and you see this massive emerging over one of the buildings. There's this kind of there's a centralized, like almost pillar of black smoke, and emerging from the side of it, you see this large reddish arm. Massive reddish arm come through and slam these soldiers who are standing there with rifles standing on the top of this building, shooting down into the smoke. You just see this hand come up and slam and rip the top of this building off, and these 2 soldiers go like Wilhelm screaming off into the distance. As you continue, you continue rushing forward. You hear the screams of soldiers. Suddenly, you feel this gust of wind, almost hurricane-like force winds, pushing you back as you struggle to hold your ground. As this creature emerges, flying above this. The city, flying out of this pillar of smoke.
Does Arden recognize it?
Arnon does recognize this.
What is that, Arnon?
Is that a
Arnon.
Nautilus ship?
No,
You have
This-
a look of familiarity on your face.
this is
and
something
it's
you
not a good one.
saw in a vision.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was updating my character sheet from...
Large, gargantuan, red and black winged creature.
Okay, I'm sure Arnon remembers, but Scott doesn't.
Crimson Maw.
Crimson Mall?
Yeah,
Oh,
the Gorgonzola.
Shit.
You look.
Okay.
Everybody make a perception check for me one more time.
Oh, buddy.
Yes, Spassy.
That is an 18 for Ember, a 18 for Butch. Come on, Foundry load. Oh, there it is. 18 for Ember, 18 for Butch, 13 for Arnon, 24 for Elric, 22 for Gwen. 2, 3, 4, 5. And Orpheus.
It rolled. I don't know if you. I'll re-roll it.
I didn't get it. I'm sure it was probably a 3, though.
It was actually not bad. That one's bad though.
All right. So, a 4. Nice. Arnon, Ember, Butch, the 3 of you notice in his claws, in this creature's claws, you see, as he flies off, 2 objects in his back claws as he flaps up and starts taking off up towards the north. Elric,
How far away is he?
He's a good mile-ish away from you at this point.
Oh, shit.
Elric, I'm going
big
to
objects.
send you... It's very hard for you to make out, but in one of his claws...
I'll
I get a
just
glimpse of one of the things.
I'll just yell to the group that that's the thing Strahd summoned in my vision.
Does that mean he's here?
The creature has rain.
What?
The creature has rain. And the general.
Oh no.
Let's fucking go.
And the general?
Let's go. Come on. Come on.
As
I'm
this
not possessed this
thing
time. Let's
is-
fucking go.
Yeah, we're running
You're running, but this thing is flying.
and running.
And
and
running.
running, and
And
running.
running. And running. Let me just check something real quick. Oh, yeah. With a fly speed of 80, this thing is disappearing to the north.
What is he?
What's to the north?
Is the place where the explosion was between us and him? Like we're running towards that too?
He was the origin of the explosion.
Okay. So yeah, but I mean, if we're running towards him, are we still running towards the explosion, or did he fly off like?
You would be, yeah, more or less, you'd be running towards where the explosion
Okay.
happened.
Well, then, if we're not, as soon as I notice we're not going to catch up, I'm going to run towards where the explosion was.
Yeah. At this, with dash movements, his everything else, he is quickly escaping your sight.
We
Was
can't
just
hear
trying to
you,
keep up
Sam.
with Gwen.
I muted myself. I want to flying eagle, or I'm sorry, giant eagle, and see if I could track it as far as I possibly can.
Okay, what's the fly speed of a giant eagle?
Yeah, that's
80.
it.
Is it 80 or
It's
is
market
it
fresh
more?
now.
It's 80.
So with 80,
That's what I remember from Aniselli.
okay. So
Orpheus
you,
says, take me with you.
I grab him.
so you take off and you're flying past, and you're able to keep up with this thing, but it's probably a good mile ahead of you. And it's you're tracking it, and it continues to go north. It's continuing to go north. The rest of you head towards that explosion area.
Yeah, it's 80.
Okay. So yeah, you're trailing it, but it's quite a bit of ways ahead of you. Go ahead and make a perception
Let me
check.
check something real quick
Okay.
before you go too for.
Actually,
Good
this it
thing you
would
brought
be
the perceptive
have-
one with you.
sorry.
I do have.
It would be not directly north. It would actually be going more northwest.
I do have advantage on checks that rely on sight.
That's fine.
Perception check.
Well, there's nothing about it being specifically on your feet. It just says your move speed. So I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat on Gwen.
Okay. So you cast Expeditious Retreat on Gwen. Gwen takes off. That doubles or
Doubles, yeah.
okay. So
Allows you to do
And how long does
your
that?
action as a dash.
How long does that last?
10 minutes.
So you're able to get up to this thing. It takes you a little while, and you are way far away from the rest of your group. It is just the two of you.
Oh,
You
me and the maw.
It's you and Orpheus. And
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was
Steven.
I was trying to keep up with her, but
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't keep up with. So you can use your action to dash. So you would be 80 doubled. It's 160. So that would be 320 feet per round, roughly. Yeah,
Orpheus's face is just like,
but you're able. You can't if you would like, you can catch up to this thing. As you get closer, make a perception check, Gwen. You do have advantage because of your giant eagle form.
Oh, Okay.
26. Okay, so
Yes.
as you approach, you notice clutched in one of its back talons, both Rain and Calliope, almost like an eagle with its prey. Unconscious, both of them. Unconscious. You're approaching and you're closing in on this thing fast. You kind of glance behind you. You are at this point miles away from your group. Or I use the term miles loosely. You're a very, very, very long way away from your group.
Gwen, line up a shot.
Oh shit.
Pick a person and line up a shot.
Oh, fuck you. I try to line up with Rain.
All right. Lined up with Rain. I'm going to shoot a...
Rain is in the talon, so she would have at least 3/4 cover.
Well, the goal is to shoot the talon, so the talon will open and drop her. That's my intention.
Okay.
So we can try to at least recover one of them.
I'm just gonna, as I see him lining this up, I'm just gonna say into his head, just in case he can't hear me over the wind, I don't know that I can carry both of you.
We'll figure it out.
Oh,
Send it.
So,
right.
no.
So both Rain...
I have a firebolt that's 120-foot range.
Both Rain and Calliope are in the same claw. This thing's just holding both of them, kind of like almost like it swooped down and just grabbed both of them at the same time before it took off.
Do you have feather fall or fly?
Just what I'm doing right now.
All right. If you have to, let me go. All right. I'm shooting the firebolt.
Oh, God.
So, okay. I don't have this character in Foundry right now, so I'm going to have to basically use a stand-in and roll the dice myself. So, for the stand-in right now, I am going to use, because it's funny, a steam method. And for the sake of this, I will need all of you, or I will need the two of you specifically to roll initiative. Actually, hold on. Let me check what their initiative. Do they have a bonus on initiative? It's just +1. What is theirs? The Steam method, so that would actually be a 14. Not that it matters, but... All right. Let's start with Gwen. Gwen, what are you doing?
They're both in the same claw?
They are.
Okay. And Orpheus has told me to line up a shot.
Yes.
How high up in the air are we? I know we're miles away from town. But...
You're at this point, I would say, probably pushing close to 1,000 feet, just to make it entertaining.
You are a monster?
I know. Thank you.
I'm trying to do my best drift impression.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get him as lined up with them as possible. Oh boy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna...
It's 120-foot range, so you don't have to be super close.
Can I hold an action to... Sorry, can I hold an action to, if the claw releases them, to try and grab them?
That would require your movement as well. So you wouldn't really, because you're not right up next to him, and you can only hold your action. You can't hold your movement. So that wouldn't really work.
Can I line us up under the claw?
I'll say with your speed, you know what? sure. If you want to fly up right underneath without before you do anything, if you take your action to dash, you could get right underneath the claw.
Because my hope is I can grab Orpheus with one claw, Calliope with the other claw, and Rain on my back.
You can
And
certainly
fingers crossed.
try
Shut
to do that.
Up, please.
All right, so you swoop down and you get right underneath this claw of this creature. Anything else for your turn? That would be your
No.
action and your movement. Orpheus,
That's it.
you're up.
All right, firebolt.
Go for it.
Aiming for the claw to hopefully release our general, especially. But rain for Gwen, of course. Oh, that's not a great roll.
That is a...
I can't see it on the thing after it rolled.
Yeah, it's not showing it.
Oh, there it is. 12.
12 is going to miss.
And then, since I used a cantrip, I can still use my crossbow for my bonus action.
Yes, you can.
So I'm going to take a shot with my crossbow using a regular bolt.
All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, 25.
25.
25 will hit.
Okay.
4
4.
damage. Fantastic. I got to write these down because I need to...
Just enough to
input this.
piss it off.
Stubbed his toe.
All right. So anything else for your turn?
No, that's it.
All right. Are you currently on Gwen's back, or are you holding him with your claws?
She's holding me.
Is this like Eagle Rider, where it's like holding from the shoulders and you're just dangling below? All right, that's gonna
No.
Okay.
Yes. No, it is.
After that, you've got its attention, so it is going to look down below at you, and it is going to unleash its crimson breath down towards you. I need both
Jews
of
are gonna
you.
die.
I need both. How would this work? Because Orpheus is...
don't.
Okay, so Orpheus is riding on Gwen. So you have an option here. It's a dexterity save. Since you are technically grappled by Gwen, I will say if you would like to attempt to do your dexterity save to get out of the way of this breath, you would have to get out of Gwen's claws. Or you can rely on Gwen's dexterity save.
I'll rely on Gwen. And
Gwen.
just hold on for dear life.
Gwen, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Would it be a dex save as the eagle?
Yes.
Since it's not a mental thing? Okay.
Yes.
What would that roll be? I have +3 on dex.
Then it would be your
Giant
D20
eagle.
plus 3.
It. Ah,
That is
Yeah,
a
it's plus 3.
9. So as this...
Oh no.
Oh no, where did it go? Hold on. Where's the stat block? There's the stat block. As this creature's head, this massive vampiric dragon, looks down at you and just unleashes this breath of this mix of like black and red energy straight for you. You take... What is it? You take 32 fire damage. And
Is this both of us or just
Yes.
Glenn?
This is both of you.
Okay.
So 32 fire damage and 36 necrotic damage.
Okay, I'm gonna use my reaction to absorb elements on the fire damage.
Okay.
huh. I'm no longer an eagle.
Oh, so you're both now falling.
Correct.
After that, it's going to use its movement to continue flying off.
Oh boy.
So that is 32.
And
36.
we're all how far away?
Very far.
Very, very, very far. And you're about, so you're about we'll say about 800 feet in the air, you immediately start plummeting. You plummet at a rate of, Emery, check me if I'm wrong, but it's 500 feet around, correct?
That's
correct.
All right, so Gwen, you are falling at 500 feet now after you have transformed back into Gwen. What are you doing?
Can I transform back into an eagle and try to position myself under Orpheus?
Do you get your wild shapes back on a short rest? Because
I believe so. I have 2.
double check that, because Arnon absolutely used your spore, or Scott used your spore shit in the fight last session, which takes
Did he use symbiotic entity?
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's why you have 60 temp HP.
Yeah. So double check your to make sure you get them back on a short rest.
Oh, wait. Did you count your 60 temp HP in that?
Nope.
Does that go through to her eagle form?
I don't think so, because temp HP should just stick with the regular form. I don't think it goes because your regular hit points change. So I would assume that temp hit points stay with the form that they were given to.
Okay.
You regain expended uses when you finish a short or a long
Perfect.
rest.
Okay, so yes, you do have another.
Ooh.
So you want to use your reaction, or you use your action to transform back into a giant eagle?
Yeah.
All right. Easy enough
And I want
do.
to try to position myself underneath Orpheus.
Okay. Are you? You're
She's
not,
still fast too, because I'm still concentrating.
That's. Did you do a con save?
Let me do that real quick.
And how much damage did you absorb?
52
So you absorbed all the fire.
after my absorb elements.
52 is what you took, or
52 is what I took.
okay? So you have to do a con save of 21.
Okay, and it's
No, I'm
at
sorry,
advantage 'cause
26. 26. Yes, it's at advantage because of Warcaster.
Okay.
So con save of 26.
Hopefully I roll high.
24.
24, just shy.
It's
Damn.
Yeah, Expeditious Retreat drops. All right,
Okay.
so Gwen, you transform back into an eagle. Are you going to attempt to grab him, or are you just getting underneath him to have him fall on you?
I'm going to try to have him just fall on me.
All right.
Like,
so
I just try to engage.
you
grab one of
swoop
my
down.
feathers.
You swoop down and get below him. Are you doing anything else?
No, just very much focusing on him.
All right.
He doesn't fall.
Orpheus, it's your turn. You are falling 500 feet around, and you are coming right up to Gwen. Are you going to attempt to land and grab
I'm just
on him?
attempting to grab her.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
make me an athletics check. Yeah, without an issue.
24.
Gwen, you kind of swoop down and you kind of start matching your velocity with him as he's falling. So it's a nice, easy reach out, and you're able to grab onto kind of the feathers right around the neck and land onto Gwen as she continues to take off. Anything else for your turn?
Good catch, Gwen. I think you're muted.
Screech. Is it still Orpheus, or is it? Can we?
That's what Orpheus, is there anything else for you?
No.
All right. End of your turn. It's going to come to the Maul's turn again. Actually, no. End of your turn. The Maul, in an attempt to continue his escape, is going to use Gargantuan Roar. So each creature within 120 feet must make a Constitution saving throw. So I need both of you to make con saves.
So, we fell like 500 feet though, right?
If you didn't get
And
caught, she caught you before you fell.
I didn't, because I would have. Nah, maybe not. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, because she made the attempt.
I was thinking
to
I would have
catch you
taken
as-
another action if we were that close. My
I mean,
bonus
if you would
action,
like, yeah, if you would like to continue.
how close are we distance wise?
You guys were right up beneath it, so you're probably, I would say, just shy of 100 feet from it.
Okay.
I think at this point I'd want to. I will say if I caught Orpheus, I wouldn't have necessarily continued pursuing the way I was pursuing before. I just want to see where it goes.
Sure.
I don't want to get in range of what it did again.
Sure. It's starting to head out, but you guys were very close. So
If I give Dragon, well, can it move that far? Can it move close enough? Well, it is a bonus
What?
action. Let's see the range of the attack real quick. I had an idea to try one more thing before it's too late, but I probably can't get close enough. No, I'll end it there.
all right.
So I can't get close enough either way.
End of your turn. 2 legendary actions to use Gargantuan Roar. I need the 2 of you to make con saves.
Oh,
that's
nat
a
1.
Natural 1 for Orpheus.
Ugh,
And a
brutal.
Ooh.
10.
Been
What?
a 12
12 for
The
Gwen.
dice gods are
or
punishing
an
us.
11.
An 11 for Gwen.
It looked like it rolled a 10. I can't see it though. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So an
I see it.
11 for Gwen and a 9. So you both fail. So you all, as this roar emits and starts like rattling your ears, you take 3d10. That would be 21.
And me not pursuing it did not keep us in range, or we still stayed in
You're
range.
still in
even though I
range.
stopped.
You're still in range right now. He's about to leave the range. That's 21
Okay.
thunder damage and 17 psychic damage as this roar emits and just
Bitch.
rattles your brain. Are you still an eagle?
No.
Gwen starts falling.
I had
Gwen and
26
Orpheus start
hit
falling
points.
again. At the end of that, it's going to use its action to dash and just continue off. You two immediately start falling again. Gwen, what are you doing?
Are we falling next to each other? Like, can I touch Orpheus?
Yeah, he would have been on top of you. So when you shrank back to Gwen,
she just shrinks underneath my grasp.
he's basically
Like, no.
Yeah, he's still holding on to you. You're still
I'm gonna-
connected, basically.
I'm gonna grasp his forearm and cast Gaseous Form.
Okay.
Or not Gaseous Form, whatever my fucking spell is. The cloud one. And I'm, yeah, Gaseous Form.
Gaseous Form?
I'm gonna cast Gaseous Form
You
On him?
on Orpheus.
on Orpheus only? Yeah, it's only one creature, isn't
It's
it?
one person. Yeah, so I would try to do it. It's also a concentration. I can only do it on one person.
Orpheus also. No, it dropped. Never mind. You're not concentrating. Orpheus, are you a willing creature?
Oh, do I recognize what she's doing?
You recognize she's trying to help you and trying to keep you from falling to your death.
If I think she's trying to help me, then yes, I'll let it happen.
Hold on a second. That's fine. Are you sure you're not looking at the new version? I don't see. I'm looking at the legacy version. It does not say anything about upcasting.
Yeah, that might be the 2024. That's a
We have
whoops.
Not met. We'll move to 2024 next campaign, but this campaign we are
Wait,
still
what's-
in 2014. The new version, if you upcast, you can do it on multiple people.
Neat.
But
Yep.
yeah. So Orpheus, you
That does
are-
nothing here.
You were not. You said you're not resisting, right?
No.
All right. So you touch Orpheus into this smoke cloud. Gwen, you're still falling. That is your action. Do you have a bonus action?
I do. How much time do I have?
Well, here's the thing.
2 rounds,
It's an
basically.
hour.
Oh. Yeah,
The
you have an
Gaseous
hour on
form is an
his.
hour, but he can only move 10 feet, and it's concentration. So when you hit the ground, he's going to go back.
Oh, shit.
Doesn't she have a shapeshift left?
No, she used them.
No.
No.
Oh.
Hold on. Think. Fuck. Oh, God.
I mean, I have a last resort tactic, but I think it only works for me. And that there's no guarantee it's going to work.
Have
So
I
if I
reached them
cast
yet?
that.
If you cast that on him and you die 2 rounds later, he's going to turn back and fall right after you.
Right. But
She
I'm
already
saying, like,
cast
if
it. What are you doing?
But she could cast it again on herself.
I'm just wondering how much more time do I have? Like, could I cast it on myself?
You have 2 rounds.
Okay. I
This-
just used one, right?
Yes, you just used one, so you have one more
Okay.
round because you'll fall 500 feet, and then you'll fall an additional like 300 feet before you go splat. Everyone else make perception checks. Who's not these 2? The other 4 make perception checks.
I'm trying to get to them.
I would like to not perceive this.
Natural. Who got the natural 20?
The one who didn't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
Ember with a 25, Elric with a 13, Harnan with a 16. I still didn't see Butch's. What the hell? Oh, there's Butch, 24. So Ember and
24.
Ember and Butch, you can barely make this out. It's so far off in the distance, but you can barely make out this breath weapon of this creature envelop the 2 of them. They start falling, and you guys can just hear the faint roar from your distance, and then see the 2 of them start falling again. And you can just make out from your distance, it looks like the 2 of them are falling, and then Orpheus disappears. And Gwen continues to plummet an additional 5.
As Gwen continues to fall, Butch's belly screaming no. And he's running as hard as he can.
I wouldn't be paying attention to them. I would have stopped at the explosion.
Yeah.
Checked it out there.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Orpheus, what are you doing? You are in mist form. I believe the only thing you can do is move.
I mean, there's nothing much I can do, right?
Right.
Move
There's
10 feet.
You can move 10 feet towards wherever you
I'm moving as far down as I can, and I guess that's it.
you can dash on your action and move 20 feet.
Where did Arnon stop?
Arnon stopped at where the
Where
explosion was.
the explosion was.
Where this creature appeared to emerge.
I feel like after having had to go to the abyss because of his really brilliant ass, I'd probably want to go with him just so that we had someone with him.
They were too fast.
At this
Yeah, I'm not catching up with them. That's why I was checking out the explosion.
I am a hun that got the shortest legs.
At this, on the mall's turn, it's just going to use its action to dash farther away. At this point, it is out of range of you guys completely. So we are going to delete it from combat, but we're going to stay in order just because bad things are happening. Gwen, you are now 300 feet above the ground as you are falling. What are you doing?
Realizing that I'm just going to get us both killed, I'm going to drop concentration on gaseous form on Orpheus and cast it on myself.
So you drop concentration, put concentration on yourself.
And hoping Orpheus has a ace in his pocket.
Orpheus, you immediately start falling again. You solidify, you immediately start falling. Gwen, you gaseous form yourself. You're about 300 feet off the ground at this point. You can use your movement to go 10 feet if you would like. Just slowly start descending, or what else would you like to do? Anything?
I don't think I can interact with anything, so I'm just gonna go towards the ground.
All right, so you continue going towards the ground. Orpheus, it is your turn. You were at about you were about 780 feet, roughly 700, and you are now instantly falling. What are you doing?
So it's not going to help much, but I'm going to have Steven try to slow my descent by like grabbing my collar and kind of flapping his wings as much as possible.
That's what you had planned?
No,
God damn it.
no. I'm just slowing the descent so I can try to make a challenging guess as I'm falling to my death. So I'm going to use... I could do this with a spell too, I guess, but I'm going to try to time it up that when I'm relatively close to the ground, I'm going to do an arcane charge and an action surge, which is a feat I have that basically gives me a Misty Step-like ability to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space I can see.
Okay, what is...
horizontally to try to...
What is this ability?
It's basically Misty Step. It's arcane charge.
Okay.
Ability to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see when you use your action surge.
Or does it say horizontally, or did you add...
No, it just says 30. No,
okay,
it just says
so
30.
You can just...
I'm choosing horizontally to try to take my momentum in a different direction to make it less catastrophic.
You can certainly try.
That's what I'm trying. That's all I got.
All right, so you fall about 500
I can do Misty
feet.
Step too, but I don't think it makes a difference.
You fall about 500 feet while you're holding on to this bird's feet
You
that
Misty
is
Step up?
literally not doing anything. I mean, you can Misty Step in any direction.
Yeah, so like, can you get to right before you hit the ground, Misty Step up, and then just fall 30 feet?
Is that like the jumping in the elevator?
I'm just saying.
God.
You can.
Really
I don't-
depends on
Orpheus
whether
would
or
know
not-
if it works like that because he's proficient in Arcana, but Chris does not. So
It depends.
you tell
on
me,
whether-
DM, does that make more sense than trying to shift my momentum horizontally?
Make an Arcana check.
Nick has to decide whether or not you retain your current velocity when you teleport.
Yeah, but if I do that horizontally, I can at least take some of the brunt off. I still expect to take damage, but just trying to not make it an instant death.
Arcana check with a 12. You do not know about magic and physics and how that correlates with each other. Not
I'm just trying horizontally then.
Ever
sticking with
tried.
my original
So
plan.
you drop about 500 feet. You have one more round. At the end of your turn, Gwen.
So prep an action, I guess.
Okay. You can do it on your next turn. That's fine. Gwen, what are you doing?
Oh, fuck.
You got like 260 feet left.
Yeah, you have about 260 feet till you hit the ground. Or, well, you're floating, so... And
Yeah.
you would have
Between
been
rounds.
300.
Yeah, you would have been about 280 feet from the ground.
It'll take
I
about
will-
a minute and a half to reach the ground.
Should probably clarify. It's just like a plain under us, like grassland
Yeah,
or something.
more or less. It's
Okay.
kind of like a few rolling hills, but that's about it.
Okay.
I'm
It's a
going
Boeing
to
767.
descend down.
Go into a cannonball
Dash.
and roll down one hill and jump up and shoot up off the other hill.
Is that all you're doing? Is descending down?
Yeah.
All right, Orpheus.
Parkour.
The ground is swiftly approaching you.
All right. I'm going to make my attempts. Just for flavor, I'm going to use my Gift of the Metallic Dragon reaction to give myself like the protective wings.
Okay.
Mechanically, it won't make a difference, but just for flavor.
Sure.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. So you give
Protect
yourself
me, Bahamut.
protective wings emerge. These platinum wings, spectral wings emerge. As you're misty stepping just horizontally. Is that what you said?
Yeah, using my action surge, arcane charge. Same thing though. Yeah.
So the fun thing is magic does not affect physics. So you misty step from one spot to another spot 30 feet, and you are still falling at terminal velocity. Is there anything else you are doing on your turn before you pancake into the ground?
I don't think there is anything I can do.
As you
That's what I got.
into the ground, so we're going to use a slight revised rule for fall damage because the max does not quite work for terminal to velocity as in rules is written. Because rules is written, fall damage maxes out at absolute max is 60, which doesn't make sense. So we're going to use the revised rules for fall damage. And at 500 feet, that's terminal velocity, that would be 50d6.
Oh, it's a lot of 4s, 5s, and 6s.
You take 181 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam into the ground. And as every bone in Orpheus' body shatters as he falls and makes a slight crater in the plains, we're going to go ahead and take our break. So,
Jeez.
stick with us. We will be back in about 10 minutes to continue this.
I got Yamcha'd. Mostly back. Cassandra will be back with us in just a minute. So, when we left Orpheus falling to his... sorry, Dorito chip. Or Dorito in the back of my throat. Orpheus...
Dorito death.
Falling to his death. You collapse into this crater, unconscious, bleeding out, practically every bone in your body crushed. Still not completely dead, though. You are...
only mostly dead.
Mostly dead. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down.
I like how Nick almost choked on a Dorito chip during my eulogy.
As he's cratering...
As he is falling, yes.
As he's falling, Butch... he's gonna make a desperate plea to Sending Moonbow that the only human that he's come to regard as a person.
Hold on 1 second. Something that I just realized. You have not taken a long rest yet.
Yeah.
You have not taken a long rest you used divine intervention trying to get you guys out of the abyss.
Really?
Yeah. This has all been one day. You took a short rest in the tavern.
Crap. Well, Butch forgets that. And he makes a plea
Tries it
to
anyway.
Sinimumbo
I mean, you can. I
and
would
realizes that
absolutely
he's
think,
tapped.
I would absolutely think he would still try. Yes.
Ah,
So you reach out to Sayanine, but you just cannot feel that presence. Orpheus collapses. For the sake of this,
I haven't stopped running, so I've got to be closer to them than anyone.
Well, they flew miles away.
I use the term I use the term miles loosely. The fly speed was 80 feet, 160 with dash. They were already about yeah, you would probably be a good mile away.
What I'm saying, though, is it wouldn't have taken us that long to get to the crater, right?
Where he fell.
So before all this happened, we would have gotten to the explosion.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
the
yeah.
explosion
Yes.
site.
Yeah, you would have gotten
So-
to the explosion site.
Before they fell, would Butch have kept running towards them, or would he have stopped?
He's trying to join them.
Butch would have followed Gwen. I believe that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm just looking for like Hymir or other.
as
whatever.
you guys are doing that, we're going to stay in initiative order here because it would take longer than 3 rounds. It would take significantly longer than 3 rounds for the rest of you, for Butch to get to there. Probably take longer than a minute for Butch to get there from where you're at right now. However, we have some other things to consider. As Orpheus craters into the ground, Gwen, it's your turn. What are you doing?
I want to. I can see in
Yeah.
gaseous forms. I can see he's
Yes.
fallen.
Yes,
right?
you can.
Okay, how far up am I?
You're still probably 360 or 260 feet.
260.
Can I drop gaseous form and cast it again and then gently land on the ground?
You can certainly try.
Is there a roll involved with that?
Probably. Because this is going to be precise timing. If you want to drop gaseous form and fall, like free fall, and then click it again right before you hit, like within 20 feet, so you can then coast down to the
I was
ground.
going to say like 30 feet.
50 feet.
There is gonna be a roll involved to see how well you time it. But yes.
Okay,
you could-
I'm essentially just trying to make sure that I don't go unconscious
Yeah.
when I hit the ground.
Sure.
So I'm okay falling 50 feet or whatever if I can guess I'm sturdy enough for that.
So that's your intent. I would like
Yes.
you to roll me. I guess this would be gaseous form. Is that is verbal, somatic, and material?
But she uses a focus, right?
Yeah, she uses
Yeah,
focus.
I
That's
might
it's
be-
the material's not what I'm to come up with the role. I was trying to see
okay.
there is somatic components. So I'm going to go ahead and say make me a dexterity saving throw to see how quickly you can do the somatic components and cast this spell and time it to the fall. The way 15, fantastic. So for 17, fantastic. All right, so you drop your gaseous form and instantly start free falling. You're keeping an eye on the ground, right as it's approaching, you gaseous form again, probably 50-ish feet above the ground. Start going down about 20 feet or so. Are you instantly dropping it again? You're basically just using it as a buffer?
Yeah. I want to go down what I can in it and then just drop.
Okay, instantly drop it again. You do fall about 20 feet. So
I'm trying to get to Orpheus as quickly as I possibly
you take
can.
a whopping,
My ankles be damned.
Yeah, you crash to the ground a little bit. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, but you do make it to the ground within 30 feet of Orpheus. That would be basically your entire turn to do that, though. All right. Orpheus, make me a death save.
Okay. Oh, I don't know why I doubled like that.
I don't know, but
it's
they
a fail.
both failed. So that's one failed death save. Gwen, back to your turn.
Okay. Am I near him now?
You
Next
can
to him?
get there, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cure wounds. At 5th level on him.
Fantastic.
$29.
29 hit points. As you release this healing magic into him, Orpheus, your bones start setting. Some of the gashes start.
It sounds horrible though. Orpheus is just, oh god,
and it just like constantly like.
I'm so sorry, Orpheus. Orpheus, I'm so sorry. Orpheus.
Orpheus, you come to consciousness. You are.
Oh man.
Bruised. You are sore. You feel like you just
Bear hug. My
got
healing.
run over. You just
Please don't
feel
bear
like
hug
you
him.
just got run over by an owlbear. You know. We'll go ahead
Gwen
and
is
fall
sobbing.
out of combat at that point.
Gwen's
Well-
bear hugging Orpheus to cure wounds while all of his bones crack back into place, and she's just sobbing over
like-
Rain and the general
It's
and
like
almost killing Orpheus.
In Deadpool, where he just like flicks his arm and back into place.
Oh God.
in an attempt to break the tension for Gwen, Orpheus is going to say, "You can't have my bones."
In an attempt to break the tension, Orpheus pulls a card from the deck. No, I'm just kidding.
I swear to God, I will kill you.
Oh my God.
Nick, not Orpheus.
So, as you're laying there in a crater of your own design, coming back to consciousness, the cracking of your bones as the magic energy resets them. Still significantly bruised, very, very sore. You do not feel good, but you are not dying. What do you
Orpheus is going to activate his gift of the metallic dragon again to do cure wounds, his freebie on himself.
get? Fantastic.
What was that? 6.
Six
All
hit
right,
points.
we'll take it.
All right. Takes a couple minutes, but Butch, you make it up to this Orpheus. You make it up to Orpheus and
Before Butch gets there, I want to have just this moment to say something while I'm healing myself.
sure.
I look over at Gwen, say, "Listen, don't worry, we'll get them back. We'll promise you, we'll get them back." And then once she's calmed down a little bit, hopefully, Gwen can make that determination.
Still screaming on the inside,
Okay.
slightly calmer on the outside.
Orpheus is going to say, "Thank you. Thank you for saving yourself."
I had a realization that I was killing us both in that moment, and I hoped you had something which wasn't creating a crater. Here we are.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter what direction you're falling. You just keep going the same way after you misty step. Noted for the journal.
I'm glad you're okay, or, well, enough, I guess.
And hey, at least we're even now.
Just crumbles again.
Who would have continued running with Butch? I know Arnon stayed back at the.
Depends upon what we found at the explosion site.
All right. So, Arnon, first off, Elric and Ember, would you have stayed with Arnon or gone with Butch to meet up with the other two?
I would have gone with Arnon.
Okay.
I think.
So you two went to the crater. Elric, what would you do?
Pulling a cart in another alley.
I think Elric would have tried running after Gwen and Orpheus.
So we'll say that the two of you ran. Arnon and Ember, you two make your way towards that explosion. Arnon, actually both of you make a either perception or investigation check as you look around the crater.
Gross. It's a natural 2 for a 16.
Jesus.
Arnon is broken. All right, that's a 13 for Ember. Looking around this crater, and you only have a few moments to look around, but you notice this creature emerged from underground. Like you look down and you see a massive tunnel system that seems to come from about the same direction that he flew in from. So kind of like it's almost west by northwest. So that, to give you a little perspective, the crack in the sky that you see is coming from slightly south of west, like slightly south of due west. He flew off at probably a 45-degree angle from that crack, more north of west. You notice that there is a tunnel that's coming from that area.
From the
Actually,
from
no.
the area he came from?
No.
He went to?
Yes, yeah. A tunnel coming from basically the same direction that he flew off.
How big is the tunnel?
Massive. Big enough that you could imagine he would have been able to crawl through it. Probably not comfortably, but this creature basically could have potentially burrowed his way through and erupted from this area.
So we for sure would fit.
Oh, absolutely.
He would have been crawling, not running?
Correct. He would have been
Okay.
more or less crawling through it.
Okay.
Is it apparent what the explosive itself was?
Okay, so using
Like,
the
was
term...
it physical? Was it magic? Was it what he was getting the tunnel made of?
Using the term explosion was a little... It wasn't like an explosion of like fire and everything. It was more of him... You can imagine basically him exploding out of the ground. There was the loud crash of stone as stone and rubble were flown off. There was kind of a eruption of dust and dirt and smoke from the fires of the buildings surrounding this area where he erupted from. You can imagine these houses and other buildings and shops and blacksmith shops were sitting around this town square as this creature emerged and breached through the surface, throwing this smoke and debris and detritus to all four corners as this hole just erupted.
Okay, so I can imagine that the crack in the sky is coming from like the direction of Syrupy or maybe Rockreal.
Yes.
And then the tunnel's headed towards maybe Torchev or Stronto. Where my place is? Stronto?
No, it would be more towards a little more west than that. You would see him if you were looking, following the direction, and you were looking at a map. You would think probably somewhat south of Torchev would be the direction that he was coming from.
There. Generally, the rift is coming from Rockreal, the southwest.
More or less,
And
yes.
The tunnel is Torchevi or Kvachliev, even.
Yeah, about that. More or less that direction, yeah.
Okay.
And that's about the same direction that he flew off.
Is there anybody left here?
With a 16 looking around, you find in the rubble, kind of collapsed, unconscious, half covered. You do see a few soldiers, but then you do find Casil unconscious.
I'll help him up. Is Casil like knocked out unconscious, like 0 hit points unconscious, or
He's non-responsive currently.
okay? I'll use my blood maledict heal
Okay.
on him. Can't remember what it's called. Right focus, the celestial. I think it's this one.
All right. So
Yeah, so he gets 1d8 plus 4.
as he wakes up, he's got rubble kind of pinning him down from this collapsed building next to him. He kind of comes to consciousness, looking up. He's like, "What the fuck just happened? Where, Arnon? Where did you come from? Where is my sister?"
Well, have I informed them of the Crimson Maw vision?
I don't think you did. You told him about the vision of the 4 horsemen. I don't remember. Did you?
Okay.
We
Well,
definitely definitely told the general because we talked about how her party had tried to
Oh, right.
do a
So-
strike or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, you would have.
All right. The Crimson Maw apparently came out of this hole in the ground and knocked all these people out, and it looked like he carried away Calliope and Rain. Gwen and Orpheus chased after him, and I think the rest of my guys are headed that way too.
That's not good. Get these rocks off. Help me get these rocks off.
Yeah,
Of me.
I'll do that. Ember
Yes.
too, because she's probably stronger than you.
Yeah, you guys are able to, the 3 of you, with his help kind of pushing him off, get the rocks off. He kind of stands up, kind of wobbling a little bit, a little woozy from the massive, you look and you see this massive bruise and dried blood on the side of his head. You can assume probably he might be a little concussed at this point.
No, I'll try to get any soldiers that are still alive out too.
Yeah. You roll me a d20.
$18.
Nice. You find roughly about 18 other soldiers that are still breathing in the rubble. Some more just unconscious, not necessarily knocked out at 0 hit points, but just knocked out from the explosion. So you're able to rouse about 18 of these soldiers from around. There are a few that have moved on that you come across, but you rouse these 18 other soldiers, and you look around, and Casil's like, this Maw that you spoke of, he took Rain and Calliope. Did you see where he went?
Northwest.
Northwest. Okay.
And towards the direction that this tunnel's going in, actually, just about the same direction, like towards Torchev or Kvachliev,
Wait.
somewhere around there, that direction.
Shit. It would be a long flight, but that is that is towards the direction of Barovia.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Where
So all
Barovia
this
landed.
shit go back to him. Oh,
That
sorry,
would
I'm not
make
there.
sense. Yeah, because he is the one that Strahd summoned. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Is
Barovia's in this.
Around
Barovia's in the south, landed in the south section of Long, so it would make sense if he was headed that way. And I'm sure the majority of Shan is not going to give much of a fight as he flies over. Heimir, yes, he was rousing, or him and his compatriots were cleaning up a pocket of resistance on the north side of Cali.
Who's in charge with Calliope going?
Fuck, that is a great question. I guess that would be me. Or Heimir. I mean, if neither one of us really has the technical authority over Conticaria, but I don't think very many people do have the authority over Conticaria, so I guess that would put either me or Heimir in charge. I'm going to bow to his knowledge, though.
Okay, well, if you're all right, we're going to head after our party, I guess.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to sit down for a little bit. Please,
all right, so we'll
find
head
my
out
sister.
after. Unless Ember's got something she wants to do instead.
Yep, just wanted to support. Does anybody need healing?
I mean, there's a few that definitely need healing, but
Sprinkle, like
yeah.
healing bay.
Healing Bay? All right. So, and then a few minutes later, it does take you a little bit of time to catch up. Elric and Butch make it to the extinction level Orpheus crater.
As
Right.
Butch is approaching, he's going to try and make eye contact with Gwen to check in with her.
And she is not. She's too busy
Averting your
looking.
gaze.
She is
I
too
think you rolled
busy
a 1.
looking down towards Orpheus and trying
Rolled a
to.
1 on perception.
She looks at Butch. She's terrified. It is not well concealed.
Okay. In that case, Butch,
Not leaving Orpheus's side, but looking at Butch like, fuck, 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 fuck. You know that's what's going on inside.
is she like, she looks real hurt or just panicking?
Panicking, sad.
Okay.
She's fine.
Butch is going to run up, put a big arm around Gwen, and then look down. Can I assume Orpheus is still on the ground? Just in pain?
His bones aren't fully back together.
Right,
Yet,
okay.
So he's playing Tetris with his shin bone and his fibula.
Gwen. Orpheus.
Yes.
You're alive.
His armor looks like a pop can that got run over.
Not for lack of trying.
Butch is going to single-handedly spin the Staff of Healing and press it up against Orpheus. And then cast some spells.
As that happens, Elric, you approach as well at the same time.
Can I have my deck back?
Right?
How about now? I don't think you could stop me.
Stand up on my crutch. You're gonna have to take it from my cold dead body, Elric.
Shit, I'm too late.
Fireball.
Don't make me finish the job.
And this is when Elric became the actual villain of the story.
All those natural ones were on purpose.
It's like the bad guy in the Matrix that betrays the party.
Yeah.
All right. Over 4 rounds, give you 32 HP.
Your bones are feeling the remainder of bones just kind of click together and weave back together. You might have a toe out of socket at this point, but
Thank you, Butch.
a
I
few,
don't recommend that for anybody.
a few more moments
It's incredibly
pass.
survived.
A few more moments pass before Arnon and Ember run up and join the rest of the party.
I'll just say, did he keep going the same way?
Towards Torchiv, yes.
think so.
Barovia. Barovia's that way.
That where Barovia popped up.
Yeah. That's according to Casil. That's the direction to Barovia. A little south of Torchev that way. If you keep going through Shan, that's Barovia.
So this is just the next step in Strahd's game, I assume.
Orpheus, Butch offers you a hand up.
I don't know if this would
Orpheus
be
takes it
Strahd's
gladly.
game. I don't know if this is Strahd's game because that guy, I don't think Strahd has a charge of that guy. He's summoned as an ally, but I don't think he's a minion.
Wonderful. We have a strange new dragon that's going in the direction of Torchev or Barovia, and uncertain whether or not that's where it's going to land. We are down Rain and Calliope.
Hymir's still here, and like I said, Casil. Casil got knocked out in the eruption he came out of, but he's fine now.
Wonderful. Our forces aren't completely fucked.
Elric, I'm going to ask you a question. And this might be out of left field because I'm way beyond my depth. But is there a way we could do something to get Barovia back in the Shadowfell? With Strahd?
At
That
this
was
point,
a curse on Strahd.
at this point, you hear coming from probably a good half a mile away. You hear the shouts of little like and these like weird high pitched language you can't understand, and you hear the loosing of a few arrows, and then you hear the impact, and you see coming out of a small tree line a soldier dressed in this drow soldier dressed in Elric, your family colors, just thum, 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 as 3 arrows hit it from behind as it goes tumbling to the ground. And looking past, you see this like probably 20 this battalion of maybe 20 to 30 small little goblins emerging from the woods like
Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Does one of them have a mohawk?
yeah,
Glad they're on our
absolutely
side.
one of them. The one you look and you see the one who loosed the arrows has this like purple mohawk.
Nice.
And they're on our side. Great. Orpheus, I know you're still recovering, but I think we're going to need to put in another call to Captain Sid.
Yeah. I suppose there's no one else to call at this point.
Or we could scry for a tree. If he's too far away or something.
Can she do it again?
Make a perception
Not
check.
today, it would be tomorrow.
Make a perception check. Anyone, everyone, whomever.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Making a group perception check.
These are
30.
good numbers.
Orpheus doesn't see anything.
Orpheus can't see shit. All right, that is a holy crap. That's a 30 for Arnon, a 21 for Ember, an 8 for Orpheus, a 19 for Butch, and a 19.
Orpheus
for
is still cross-eyed from the fall.
Yeah, Orpheus, you.
Maybe
everything's
everyone's still hanging out.
Everything's still very blurry.
He's playing the like cup and string game.
Yeah.
Here, let me
Gotta
get
get
that
it
for
back
you.
in.
Just push your eye back in the socket.
Oh, gross.
Half our audience is puking right now.
Absolutely. The rest of you who are not Orpheus, you look and you do see. The first thing you do is you hear the release of a couple rifle rounds coming from around, and then you look up and hovering maybe 150 feet above the city streets, you do see that living hull. You look up and you see flashes coming from the crow's nest. As they continue to take out a few things. You see the release of fire magic, fireballs, explosions happening below, almost like depth charges coming from the ship, hitting pockets of resistance below in the streets.
Yes! Yes! Burn, baby, burn!
At this point, I can't tell if that's Orpheus or Sid.
A thing can be two things.
Fair.
Orpheus is definitely burning.
We need
internal
to
wounds
regroup.
burning.
From the wounds, not his other personal injuries.
We need to regroup and replan in Kali. Now that we've taken it.
Yeah, we'll have to break the news to the rest of the command group. We'll need a new person to take lead.
Do you have a stone to your dad, Gwen? Casil said he was in the area.
Except for we used it, yes,
Did we?
or we used it
Yeah.
earlier today before we did tree stride.
Okay,
Right, we wanted to make sure we were in the right plane.
right.
Yarp.
I have sending.
It's a good spell.
I think
Without
we just
help.
walk back to town and see what we can do until Heimer comes back.
Is Heimer there?
Casil
what
said he
Casil
was
said.
out dealing with some guys like these guys are.
Oh,
Ember, if you have sending prepared, go ahead and use that. I didn't prepare mine.
How far away was that the living ship?
Over the town.
Yeah, it was over the town. Probably, yeah, so
Okay.
back about a mile away from you guys.
All right.
Who are we sending to? What do we want to say? It's cast.
You know Heimer, right? You've met him?
Yeah?
Yeah, you met Gwen's dad.
Tell him we're looking for a granite guy.
Actually, tell him we've returned and are on our way back to regroup and
And that Calliope
Reconvene.
and Rain have been captured by the Red Wall.
I don't know how many words that is, but I said all that.
Sure.
I think it's probably best just to tell him, get the command group together. We'll explain everything when we arrive.
Well, then he might be trying to get command group people that are no longer there.
wait, who was captured?
Calliope and Rain. Didn't you?
Butch didn't make that roll.
Okay.
This is the first he's learned of it.
Okay.
We tried to get him to release the talons and drop them, but
Just drop
We
yourself.
couldn't.
Drop it like a hot.
the maul was too strong for us. Fight
Hit
airborne.
hard.
Gwen, we'll get them back.
Elric, I want to help you kill Strahd. More than I have ever wanted it before. If he brought the thing that just took them this world.
we'll see. If we somehow manage to recover Rain before going after Strahd is viable, You may want to rethink that.
Did we get an answer at all?
Yeah, I was waiting for all of them to finish theirs before I
Oh,
got
sorry.
I do squeeze Butch's hand though. Gwen's just really upset.
Yes, you send that to Hymir. I almost said Hasil. You send that to Hymir, and you get a response. Meet me in the courtyard of the citadel. We will discuss next steps.
Just start walking there.
Easy enough. You make your way back. Takes you the better part of it. Between everyone's injuries, exhaustion at this point, takes you the better part of an hour to make your way back to the courtyard outside of the mansion. I keep saying citadel. It's more like just a mansion, an estate. You walk up and you see standing there. Shit. Give me a second. Walking up there, you see Hymir with Kthela and the little frog man and the lizard wizard. Where is he? Do I not have the lizard wizard in here?
You had him in there before.
I know I did. Where did he go? He's Alright, well, he's disappeared. So, see the four of them. You see Eris Evelyn with Captain Elise and Commander Lucian of the Air Genasi. You see Atok, Chaska, and Sisa of the Earth Genasi, as well as Meirun, Naminar, and Baramesh of the Fire Genasi. Finally, Ragnar, Vigos, and Leaf standing there. Or I'm sorry, not Leaf. Leaf didn't come. Ragnar, Vigo, and Vigos standing there with somebody that you hadn't seen in quite a while, who had been fighting in the background. Somebody Elric recognizes instantly, and so does Arnon, as he left an impression on Arnon and left half of Arnon.
Oh, my elbow hurts.
In a fighting pit. As you see, why is he not? Elric's cousin, Valendra, standing with this group as well as Casil.
Arnon, that's the guy that
Yeah.
I think still has it.
Unless he left it there.
I don't know. Do you have your dignity?
No, Butch.
Okay, go ask it for him back.
A few moments later, and you see the sky pirates walk in to the courtyard.
That will surely restore it.
And then the goblin command walks in from the other side. Actually, they would be over here. Let's go ahead and put them over here.
We gotta replace that picture of Vinci.
I know. I need to find. I need to. I'm sorry. So, as you all approach, Hymir looks across and is like, Casil has started explaining what happened. We heard the explosion, but assumed it was just the battle itself. We were deep in the forest when this creature apparently flew out.
We tried to intercept it and free the general and Rain from its talons, but it was too strong for us airborne. We couldn't free them.
We must...
Flew in the direction of Barovia.
That makes sense.
That's what I said.
We must...
In any case, we're now devoid of our primary general and coordinator. I think before we take any more action, we'll need to decide who's going to ultimately make the final decision.
Ragnar kind of steps forward. You came to us first, made an alliance with us under the command of this General Van Doren, with assistance from her brother and Hymir. Our forces are still here. We pledged to... All of the Genazi forces have pledged to continue this fight until your homeland is secured. In her absence, we will look towards the guidance of her most trusted being, Hymir, Casil, and U6. You hear just like mumbles of agreement coming from the different Genazi tribes.
Orpheus is contemplating kind of his history here as a soldier in Conticaria. Your actions and deeds, they honor you and all of your fellow Genazi tribes here. We continue to appreciate your alliance and assistance in securing our nation. We've had great successes, but of course they come at a cost. And that's something Conticaria won't soon forget. However, I worry that Hymir being a man from another land, Casil being a person who spent his entire adult life in Dis, Conticarian soldiers won't rally around them. We need, at least as a figurehead, somebody who is themselves Conticarian to lead the Conticarian forces.
Mm-hmm.
Casil kind of turns
There's just one
towards you.
problem with that. Orpheus. Do you see the problem with that?
That's right. That's why I pointed out.
How many of us are actually from Conticaria? At least in a way that the soldiers will recognize.
Butch is looking around trying to figure out who here would be from Conticaria.
Well, of this immediate command group, only myself.
Hmm.
And you've been gone for, what, 5 years? 3 years in the Feywild and 2 in Hell?
Yeah. And I'm not so certain they'd trust me either. Seeing as I spent 10 years in Dis and presumed dead. And then I know many of them still think we abandoned them in the Feywild.
Hymir, do you know what that is? And I'm pointing at the crack in the sky.
Let's go ahead and do a perception check. I'll do at advantage since you're pointing it out. That is a 28. Hymir looks up and he's like, well, that's new.
Yeah. Looks like it's coming from like Rockriel area.
Indeed. It grows in the west, shrinks in the east. A convergence, I would believe. We've had sightings stating that Titivulis has started rallying his forces around Rockrialt. He has pushed the remaining Conticarian resistance. What was once a prison has now become his stronghold. It's possible this is where he is staging his final phase of his plan to converge the plains.
Do we have anything that can undo the damage that he's done to the Veil?
Unfortunately, I am not versed in these matters.
Would Orpheus know if any of Captain Sid crew was Conticarian?
You would know that clearly. I'm trying to think. He had talked about their hometown, or their pirate port, I guess would be the best way to put it, which was at one point somewhere over the other continent. You don't believe any of his crew was from Conticaria, and his crew came from 150 years ago.
Orpheus.
Yeah. The thought process was that if there were any Conticarians on the team, they'd be kind of figures of legend like they were for the Irgenazi.
Sure.
And they might work to our advantage, but if he knows that not to be the case, then I've got another route I'll take here.
Well, perhaps tonight we should go out among the soldiers and find out who they look up to.
We're going to go get him back, right? I mean, that's not in question.
Yes, but we need our plan now. What do we do with the forces in place? We're already waging war.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they just took this place over. They can settle in for a little while, for a day while we go get him back.
Casil kind of steps up towards you and is like, my sister's plan was for us to take this town, reinforce it, and then... Shit, I forgot to bring the map up. Take this town, reinforce it, and then after a day or two of recuperation, start continuing towards up the coast.
I think it may be best to follow something along those lines. Have a Hymir coordinating things and keep the general's absence a secret among the Conticarian troops.
Well, we can just go get her back while they're fortifying here.
You think we're going to get her back overnight?
You think it's only going to take a day to fortify this place?
If the soldiers find out that the general's gone,
they each have their own committee.
They'll be devastated. They'll lose all will to fight. We can't let it be known. We need to keep it a secret among ourselves. Have Hymir coordinate things from the shadows until we can get her back.
Hymir kind of nods to this, and Casil says, I believe Orpheus has a good theory here. It is best with the way this war has had and the losses we have already taken. It may be best to conceal the fact that our main figurehead is missing. We will come up with an excuse for her not to be here. Perhaps her and Rain are scouting ahead. Perhaps we sent them, or well, they sent themselves forward to look for vulnerabilities in Titivolus's forces.
Where's Rain's ship?
The Nerissa is in the bay. We will need someone to... If we want to continue this blitzkrieg...
We're pretty good at driving boats.
I have heard enough to know that that is false. We have a couple options when it comes to the Nerissa. We can either continue sitting here and fortifying while you all make your way, or one of our other captains can temporarily take control.
There, people have been to Barovia since it landed in Long, right?
Few. Very few.
They sent scouters over there, and they came.
Yes.
They were able to come back, so it's not
Correct.
cursed anymore that you can't leave.
This is correct, yes.
Okay.
Vigos kind of steps forward and is like, if a ship's captain is needed, myself or one of our crew will take command of the Nerissa temporarily in our kin's stead.
We do have allies in Barovia, if they're still alive. We could try ascending and see if they know any details that would help us.
Hymir kind of looks up and he's like, well, if Barovia is where they say it is, it'll take that creature better part of a day, possibly two, to make it there. If you can contact these allies, maybe get a heads up on what is happening, perhaps it will give us an advantage.
You mean the priest?
Yes, the priest and the woman that Strahd had attacked.
I'm very worried about the crack.
I mean, we only can deal with one thing at a time, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
While all this is happening, Butch is going to hear in his head, I'll be at the docks. And Gwen is just going to walk away. And she's going to go and look at the Nerissa. Let me, get the message to Butch is like, I'll be at the docks. Let me know what the plan is. I'm going to get them back one way or another. And then I just go to the docks.
So I'll be here, Butch saying, okay, Gwen.
And Gwen just walks away.
Well, I think our best bet for now is reinforce the area for the moment. Try to make contact with these allies in Barovia. And if we can get some kind of lead, start making a plan to save the general.
Casil, are you going to come after your sister?
Takes a second for him to answer, and you can see the struggle on his face.
as the DM tries to figure out if it's balanced.
Whether or not he wants to deal with the NPC.
Before.
That's the real struggle.
I trust you, your group, and I believe that at the moment the forces need to see some sort of figureheads here. And in my sister and Rain's absence, I believe that if I were to leave, it would only cause more suspicion. I think that Hymir and myself need to make ourselves available and publicly seen as much as possible while my sister and Rain are missing.
Orpheus is going to walk up to Casil and embrace him, forearm to forearm. I swear on the bleeding heart. Swear on the bleeding heart. We'll get her back.
He just kind of nods at you. He's like, I will keep you at your word.
Appreciate the trust.
Suddenly, the little frog man walks up and he's like, well, if you need somebody else to come fight. No, I'm just kidding. That's not happening. That's not happening.
I just wrote some songs. Can't wait to use them.
Be amazing.
I'm going to approach my cousin. Good to see you're still alive.
It's good to still be alive, cousin. That was a rough couple days.
I can only imagine.
I didn't see you around here. I can only imagine you guys were, your team was doing something even more dangerous and secretive.
Seems we have a knack for that.
Hopefully, and he kind of like motions towards Arnon. He's like, hopefully this one was a little more helpful for you this time.
He is. They all are. I need to ask you something. My father, he's made himself into a lich.
A smirk, almost a small chuckle, comes out of Valindra's mouth. Well, that old bastard always was looking for more power. I wish I could say I was surprised.
I wish I could say I was surprised. The thing is, we killed him.
But did you really?
That brings me to my question. I know you helped me to escape when I was 10. Given that you're older than me, I would hope that perhaps you would know places of significance to him.
The reason I helped you escape was because I oversaw things in Menzoberranzan. Things you were probably too young to notice. Shadowy covenants and deals being made in secret between your father and a mysterious figure. A human, it seemed, finely dressed. Always coming through with fine clothes, top hat, gloves.
Kid.
It was these deals, these secret pacts, alliances that made me realize that there was more going on than we knew about. So when the opportunity came, we fled, and I took you with me. My assumption, from what I know about your father, is if a phylactery is involved, it would be in a place secured, looked over, and possibly deep within this other third party's dominion. Somewhere that your father and this other individual would have complete and utter control over.
I suppose that rules out Menzo Berenzin.
I would be very surprised if that was the case. While your father still controls much, there's enough underhanded deals and backstabbing that happens in the depths, as I am sure you're aware, for somebody with the, how should I say this, paranoia of your father to leave such an important item there.
It's one of the planes, and I'm now just hoping and praying it isn't one of the hells again. I should probably tell you that I've been to the abyss now.
That does not sound like fun.
If all of the planes crash together and all of existence is wiped out and I die beforehand, it will still be too soon. How the hell could he have possibly put that damned thing?
If I were you, I would seek out his alliances. Decimate his strongholds. Eventually you'll find it. Hopefully before he finds you. I'm sure he's even more pissed now that you've killed him.
That person with a top hat.
Oh, yes.
No, not you.
It's a guy randomly walking by. Yes. Okay.
Would he perhaps look like this? And I open my book that I've been chronicling everything in, and I show him an image of one Hugh Percival Lawcross.
He's like, yes, that would be the gentleman I speak of.
Shit. In discovering that that's a guise that's been used by a subordinate of his and probably him himself. That means the Hells. Again. Unless they've gotten their hands on a completely different plane this time.
Well, sounds like another adventure awaits you.
So it would indeed. All right. I suppose you're going to be around to help fortify and rebuild.
Indeed. I have nothing better to do, and this at least gives me people to take out my frustrations on joining up with these forces. And, well, I got to kill some of our folk, so that was fun.
Naturally. I suppose you've gotten stronger since I've been away.
A bit, as I'm sure you have as well.
A bit. Once this is over, perhaps I'll let Arnon have a rematch.
Anytime. You know where to find me.
I'm going to nod and then walk off.
Fantastic. Is there anything else any of you would like to do at this moment?
I gotta give Vigos a high five.
Psh. To which,
Sleep.
to which
Yeah.
Vigos kind of is like, well, I guess I should make my way down to that ship to at least temporarily take command.
I'll go with you.
Until its rightful owner is returned. Ragnar kind of looks over and is like, don't get too comfortable. My cousin will return and take command of their ship again. To which Vigos
I
is
can
like,
show her around.
I'm just doing what's necessary. Starts walking down.
Orpheus nods at Casil and then goes to find Elric.
I'll walk her to the ship.
Okay. You walk her to the ship. You do pass Gwen. I would think Gwen would... unless you are making yourself scarce, Gwen. You just said you were...
She's sitting on the dock.
Yeah, you were just sitting
She
on the
said
dock.
she's sitting on the dock.
So yeah, you would pass. Wasting time?
Watching the tide roll away, yeah.
So yeah, you would see Gwen sitting on the dock as you walk Vigos down towards the Narissa. Orpheus, you said you were going to find Elric?
Yeah.
I know that broody look. I'll just, if she looks my way as we pass, I'll nod, but I'll let her be.
Mitch will sit next to her. Won't say anything, but he's there.
All right.
What did Arnon do when he walked by, Gwen?
If you looked at me, I'd nod at you, but if you didn't, I'd just leave you alone.
Shoot an arrow
Definitely
in your butt.
made eye contact, but like Not like I'm gonna get up and move. Just staring at the Narissa.
So,
Oh, you're staring at the Narissa?
Like out, like at the sea. Like I'm near where the Narissa is docked. Because it's at port. It's in port,
Yeah.
right?
correct.
Yeah. So I'm sitting near the Narissa, and I guess I'm staring out to sea. So yeah,
So,
watching the tide roll away.
as you all go about your business, we're going to go ahead and end it right there for the night. So, next week, everybody, will be a special event because I will be not here. So, Sam is going to be running another little honey heist for everybody next Tuesday. You wanna give a little oh Jesus Christ. That was awesome.
Bears,
no.
bears.
Bears.
You wanna
Yeah,
give a little hint about that?
I would love
Oh
to. So, our party of bears will be infiltrating an AI-controlled smart home owned by a very infamous ne'er-do-well crypto bro. And their task is to get all of the hard drives containing all of the wallet information needed to steal his ill-gotten honey coin gains. So,
Bitcoin.
yeah, they're going to have a
Fantastic.
mischievous AI house to compete with.
Love it. That's
Love it.
amazing. So, tune in next week for that. That should be a lot of fun. I would watch, but I'm going to be way too busy sitting on a beach enjoying
No.
tropical weather. So, I'll watch it when I get back to cold Ohio.
Mai Tai.
Yeah, drinking Mai Tais and staring at the sunset.
Man, the vacations you can take when you invest in Honeycoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all because of the honey
Yeah.
coin. All my vacations were bought and paid for with Honeycoin. But we after next week, in 2 weeks, we will join back up here again to continue this adventure. So make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment, all of that. Go to youtube.com/@thosenaturalones, twitch.tv/thosenaturalones, kick.com/thosenaturalones, and trovo.live/s/thosenaturalones. Like,
And
comment,
guys, if
share,
you're ever
subscribe.
thinking about a prepared meal plan,
I was about to
check
say
out our fresh one. Yeah.
Yeah. You got
Don't
to
use
before
honey.
I do. Yeah, don't use honey. Make sure you turn off honey. Speaking of honey. Yeah.
Use Honeycoin, but don't use Honey the extension.
Yeah.
Click the link in the below. Get an awesome discount on Factor. Save yourself some time and energy.
I had one tonight. They're actually really good.
Yeah, I'm
I had the
super
like
excited.
garlic chicken Alfredo.
That sounds
it's really good.
fantastic.
I just smelled it when he came in my house.
Oh yeah?
It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do
Amazing.
it. It makes a great gift too. So if you got like parents or somebody that you want to give a gift to, just sign them up for a box. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and you have to keep paying.
What about
for
a
it.
kid in college eating dorm food?
There you go.
Get him a hot meal instead.
That too. Help us buy some better cameras and better audio equipment and all that. So our stream, help us help you enjoy a better stream. So anyway, we will see you, most of them, we'll see you next week.
Where hopefully a bunch of bears don't roll bad at robbing a crypto bro of his ill-gotten honey coin.
Indeed.
Or they do, and we get to see how they tear the whole world apart.
That's also
Or they go full
walk
bear.
off into the sunset with a baby.
absolutely.
That's happened.
That was pretty
There's
awesome.
a lot of
It
there's a
happened.
lot of ways this could go.
So we will see you. They will see you next week. I will see you in 2 weeks to continue this. Have a fantastic week. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you to everybody who's signed up for Factor already. And we'll see you next week. Have a fantastic night.